let's welcome back, and we'll try to get over here on the lighter side. That light on the other, my one light, the battery went dead. So these are what we're going to try to do. So I'm going to kind of zoom in a little bit on this because I think I can zoom in here, and I'll try to keep it in square. But these are the LEDs. They don't quite look like the others, but I do believe they're the same height. So I think they'll fit just fine, even with the base the way it is. So I thought I may have to cut this down just a smidge, and I may still have to, just so that we get, you know, the same, well, about the same height. So let's see what happens. So what we're going to do here, what I was going to do is we'll take this one loose. We'll take this one, and it'll be the opposite side on this one, won't it? Alright, and this one here loose. And let me get my things here and we'll straighten that up. Of course, you can take it out if you want, but I'm not going to do it. We'll leave it right where it's at, and then we'll get some heat shrink tubing. Hopefully I don't have anything any smaller, but this will have to work. So we'll cut some of this. Of course, I may not have to heat shrink tube it. We'll see. Let's so what I want to do is I want to put these wires in, and hopefully I can't really show you very well down there. Hopefully they'll go down into that hole. So what I thought about doing here is I'll take this and I'll put just a loop, okay, and I'll do this on the opposite side, okay, and then what will happen is I'll put my wire in, and I'll just crimp it down on it just a little bit. So here's my wire on this side, and let's go ahead and just, what I'll do is I'll put it in sideways. And I've got one of them little fingy things, or what do you want to call them. I should really use it. I'll tell you what, let's just leave it the way it is. Here's what I'll do. And because I really need to squeeze those in there. I don't want to try to do that yet. So let me just sit that down in like so. And basically what I'm going to do is I'll push that crimp around there. That just kind of, when I get ready to solder, that just makes sure it's got a good solder. So, and I didn't put my heat shrink tube, so I'll take the wire up, but it's no big deal. We'll do it this way to start. So if you look, right there is where I'm going to solder. So actually there we go, I like to have it tighter than that. So let's go in here and solder this out. I think I don't know if I told you, but I thought I ordered the proper lights for this. I ordered these, and then I also ordered, which I thought from the same guy, was the let's go ahead and see if I can pull this on out here without causing any issues. There we go. The incandescent versions of these. Well, I got 2 packs of these. I give 1 pack to my buddy, but you know, I was thinking, you know, and when I emailed the guy, he said no, these are the he said no, he said they're just using that for an example. I said, well, I didn't pay attention to that, so that was my fault. But what the heck, I lost my wire. My wire broke. That's not a good sign. It's alright. I can still use that. Let's do what I want to do here. See if I can strip this off camera here. There we go. See if I can give me a... Alright, let's try this again. Oh, it is just pinch it. Part just broke in half. What's up with that? That's alright. Been there. Done that a million times. Thinking you've got something, you pinch it too tight. Because the tool I'm using over here is not a cutter. This is not a cutter. It's just a. And that probably is off camera on that. One of these days I've got to get me a monitor just for down here, so I'll make sure I stay in camera there. So I just forget to look up. Come on, get up in there. Come on. There we go. And basically it just keeps it in place, so when I solder it. so when I solder it, but unfortunately it's just not behaving, not very well at all. I'm going to leave it like that for right now, and I'll solder it, then I'll pinch it over. That's how I'll do that. You want a little bit extra solder, you know what I mean? You definitely want solder on it. So, these bulbs won't get hot, so I'm not worried about that. And they might get a little warm with the circuitry, you never can tell, but for the most part they shouldn't get hot. So there it is. And then I'll just take my things and make sure all that's flat. There we go. Same with over here. Alright, and then we'll run our heat shrink tubing. I'm just wondering if I should, before I run the heat shrink tubing, I would like to actually. Oh, I'm not even on camera again. Man, oh man. What a video. Can't even keep my ass on camera. Oh, I don't know if I can say that or not. Alright, so let's see how that fits in the sleeve first, and then I'll go and see what happens. But I would still need to put a heat shrink tubing on it. I really like to put heat shrink, so that's, my head might be in the way, but I've got to see how to get the damn thing back in the holes. And I'm hoping these will be, they're bright, so I'm hoping these will work just fine. And they might, they might be alright. Yeah, let's see what that looks pretty good there. I don't know if I would, I think I should be able to heat. I don't know. Looks pretty tight in there, so we might just leave it alone. I'll just put it back in, because it goes in there's like a little sleeve this goes into. So let's see if I put that in, it should be about the same height. So let's get the bracket here. So the bracket, this is the center bulb. It should go just like so. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. I don't know why they bothered putting the LED on the top, but And let's get a 9-volt battery and we'll get an idea what it looks like. Oop, oh dear, don't want to lose my screws out of that. I'll lay them over here. Alright, let's see what she looks like if I do that. I think it's going to brighten up just fine. I don't know why they put that LED there. That's kind of silly to have that LED up here, but there it is. It might just do it. I got too much lights in here, but it don't look too bad. Alright, so heat shrink we will not do, because once it goes down inside here, the wires are actually separated. So, alright, there's one. Alright, so let's go to another one. I think these two here have the same length of wire, so that's good. I'm going to cheat on this. We'll go ahead and wire it together, and then when I get ready to wire nut it to the other, it's just only going to have one wire instead of trying to do that all inside the case over here. But we're not at that point yet. The nice thing about, like I said, these LEDs don't make any difference. They're not polarity depth. Yeah. That's funny. Now they. Alright. So now we'll bend this. This one here ought to bend over just a little, not as heavy as this other one. Alright. So we'll go ahead and put. And that's an AC circuit anyway, so that's kind of nice. I don't have to. You don't have to worry about the. Come on, get up back in there. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt doing it one-handed, but that's all right. We'll muddle through. I always like working by myself anyway. I was having lunch with my buddy, or breakfast, and he was telling me, that when you get into doing this stuff, minimal is always better. And since he had a repair shop, I understand it. Just fix what's broken, because sometimes you get into too much, you end up causing more problems, or a problem that you can't fix. And that's the code he's lived by. And I told him, well, this is for me, so therefore I want to make sure everything works. I don't want to have to tear this back apart. And that's to me that's how I view it. Is I just don't want to. I just don't want to have to tear it apart again. I want it fixed, We know it's old. You know, we know it needs to be repaired. We know that things are going to fail. So, step out. So, you know, that's how I view it. I know some people don't view it that way, but I do. Because I just don't want to have to get back in there. I want to be able to use it, and I want to, you know, be sure. Oh, come on, all right, fine. You know, the bad thing about getting old is you can't see either. You know, that's just crazy stuff. Alright, this is going to be a pain in the butt, so I'm going to have to do this another way. This doesn't want to stay there, so what I'll have to do is I'll solder this. Get some solder on it, then I'll get this up to where it needs to be. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Too quick for my own good. I ain't letting it cool down is the problem. And I'm getting kind of irritated with that. Right, stay there. There we go. Give me some heavier to put it on. Yeah, I get a little too quick for my own good, and I don't let stuff cool down, and it just starts giving me a little bit of a fit. So it's nobody's fault but mine. Get too quick. I guess with the cameras, you know, you got to worry about time. I'm not worried about anything else. I just worry about time. So there's that one. There it is. That one. We'll lay this one over to here and put it in its little holder. The only bad thing is the other bulbs filled the void up better. So, you know, the rubber, so it expanded a little bit. This doesn't quite do it that way. That's why I said I'm going to probably go ahead and come around, and I'll probably go ahead and solder everything together and put a wire on there, you know, so that everything stays where it needs to be. Alright, here we go again. Alright, same thing, just pull the wire out. I used to be pretty good about making loops, you know, like a curly Q, so like almost like when they wound wire. Like I said, I'm going different directions just only because this makes me feel. So what I'll do this time is I'll come around, and we'll come around. Alright. And then when I get that in there, hopefully I can just go ahead and boop, and capture that wire. There it is. And that actually turned out pretty good. That actually captured the wire pretty darn good. Okay. If it gets hot enough to melt that solder, you know, then there's something else wrong. The beauty part about this is this can't get any hotter than that damn friggin' bulbs they put in there. These amplifiers here must be just a little bit weird because I didn't find, you know, everything you can find as far as replacement bulbs are for like the Kenwood 960, which honestly I'd love to have. And not a whole lot for, you know, these bulbs here, or for this stereo as far as that goes. Not a whole lot of parts. So I have found that these are actually for the 680 or some weird number like that, and so I said, you know, really, for all we're doing with it, for, you know, it doesn't really make any difference, you know. I can go ahead and and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just twist them, and I'm going to add a wire to them. Before they were wire nutted and it was just so close, and there's really no need to, because they don't really use the I can see on some of the other radios doing that because of the so now what we're going to do here, I think those two are blue, we're going to put blue wire on there, because I got some blue wire, because I just feel like I need blue wire. So a lot of them, a lot of the I've got an old computer power supply over here, and this is actually kind of overkill wire wise, but this way when I wire nut it back inside the unit, it will be its own, you know, I mean, I won't have to deal with, I don't have to deal with it. So what I would do here is I twist this up a little bit, and I take this and I would just kind of give you just a little twist on that, if I can, that is, and I may not be able to, but there it is. And then what we'll do is we solder that up. Just hold that up, make sure it gets solder flow there. Alright, and I think that's good there. I think everything looks like it's good and in there. Don't look that good down this back side though, does it? Let's see if I can go right here and make sure this is soldered properly. Kind of a rough solder joint. That's why I hate joining wires. Wires always, to me, always look rough, you know. So what we'll do here is we'll take some heat shrink tubing here, and we'll run this on down, up around that. Hopefully this is big enough to get around that blob, that solder blob. And then come on, get around there. I don't know if it's, you might hear some noise. My son's here doing something to the computer up there. Yeah, we'll take a little bit of that and we'll shrink it down. Yeah, there we go. This way when I get it inside the unit over, I'm not fighting it so bad. I get tired of fighting stuff, you know. It was a fight to get it out. So this time I made sure I didn't have to fight to get it out. You know, just put it in there, off I go. Alright, got 39 minutes of battery power, so we'll see if we could, hopefully got enough. If haven't heard the, let me check to make sure we're not, it's still recording, so that's a good sign. Make sure it's all soldered good in there. There we go. And we'll lay the rest of this heat shrink too. I don't need all that much, but I got tons of this stuff. I remember as a kid, I never heard of it. So man, we used to tape everything, you know. Yeah, it was always funny. And we taped the heck out of it. Okay, it's trash. I'll throw it away. Trash. No, I guess I'll have to throw it away. I'll go ahead and shrink it. There we go. And then what I'm going to do here, so these bulbs somewhat stay straight, I'm going to, because you don't want them twisting, you want them kind of stay in its straight little line. We'll go ahead and I'll wire tie these here so that they're exactly where they need to be. I'm going to cut them down just a little bit. There we go. And we'll wire tie it. Let me get my wire ties out here. There's a wire tie, it goes back in there anyway, so we'll go ahead and pull some of these. I've got black ones, but we'll use the white ones because that's what was in there. Little side note, I have found that wire nuts, if you use the black ones outside, they deteriorate pretty rapidly. But the white ones, they seem to hold up pretty good. Let me get out here a little bit and show you what I'm doing here. At this bulb, at this junction here, I'm going to go ahead and wire tie that. That should hopefully keep that. And I'm not going to go real tight on it. All they are is just here, just to keep them in place. Throw that away and that away. With here. And just right here. That hopefully I'll keep my bulb sideways. So, and then we'll pick up the receiver here and we'll put it in. There we go. And that's hopefully should keep those where they need to be. So now we're going to pick up the receiver. And, okay, so we know the bulbs. Actually, we can do a test on all the bulbs. Oh, there we go. All right. Let's see if, I think I need to test it first, make sure all the bulbs are good. So all I need to do is not test it, and all of a sudden then the bulbs work. Huh. I did that once on a project that I did a test and then the bulbs work. Oh yeah, that's going to be just fine. Let's kind of get you a look here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to flip this around here so you can see that light up. I think that's going to be just fine. That's just about as bright as all the other bulbs that they had in it. So I think that's going to be real good. So we'll find out. Kind of excited now. Wouldn't it be great? Well, we had LEDs, but they didn't have any white LEDs at the time. They didn't have any white ones. It was, you know, I think they barely had blue or green or yellow. So I'll lay that here. Alright, I'll be back in a second. Alrighty, back. Welcome back. Now what we're going to do now, we're going to have to find out, we're going to put this all back together. So now we'll go ahead and wire nut it and get it all taken care of, because here's the original, I have the original wire nuts, original Kenwood wire nuts. I don't know how they got all those wires down in there, but they did. So we'll go ahead and put that on. Alrighty. Get that wire nut in there. Alrighty, and then we'll go ahead and wire nut our second one right here. Tell you what, I like the blue kind of matches a little bit, don't it? Alright. Now that one isn't biting like it should. I'm hoping it's, there we go. There's no spring in them, they're just wire nuts. There we go, that's better. And then what they had before, they just had this all, they had this bent down, and they had it bent down, and they had it wire tied to this bracket in here. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and wire nut it to the bracket. It's like they had it. They had it all draped over just like so. And we'll take care of that. Then it'll be almost like factory anyway, huh? Almost like factory. There we go, and that's how they had it. And then we'll go ahead and cut that off, and that takes care of that. And then we might as well go ahead and put this back on. I think we're good there. Come on, come on. This wants to be just a little difficult. Alright. Alright. We'll go ahead and lay our screws back in. Then we'll power it up and see what it looks like. Then I'm going to have to do another video on, we'll put all the covers on and test it and everything. Okay. So, yeah, we'll put all the covers on, test it and everything. That'll be a different video, actually, because I'm about ready to run out of power for my, running out of power on my on my camcorder up there. So let's flip this around. I'm going to tilt it up in the air for us so we can all see it. Alright, and we're going to turn this light off. We'll see if the camera can, and we'll turn it on and see what it looks like. We ain't got no power. Ain't got no power here. I've been having some issues with the plug I got, so we'll see what happens. Let me try this. See what we got going on here. Why do we not have any power? Alright, let's try this again. Oh, okay, never mind. Can't turn the lights off. So we'll have to do it with the lights on. Unless I go and unplug everything. Alright, let's see what she looks like. Here we go. There it is. She's somewhat light up, so what we can do is just turn this off. Let's see how this is all going to look for me here. Alrighty. Alright, let's take a look and let's see how this thing powers up here. Let's see what she looks like. I turned all the lights off. And we'll go ahead and just tilt it up so you guys can see it. And let's see. Of course, it's going to be hard to tell on the camera, I do believe, but if we turn it on, all the lights do work. And the relays are clicking, so you know we got amplifier. So this will be the last of the video of the assembly and the repair. Next thing I want to do is we'll put it all back together and put speakers to it, see how she works. Thanks for watching.